Another game, another blow, another comeback loss, another L for the Indianapolis Colts. We were right there. We had it. We could have won. But Chase actually missed the field goal. I mean, he did pretty good on average. He did pretty good on average. He made a 50-yarder, which was pretty shocking. And we relied on him. Unfortunately, he missed the one at the end, which we needed. But the game shouldn't have been that close to begin with. Um, Mike Evans was out. Mike Evans could have had 3 touchdowns. He could have had 4 touchdowns if he stayed the whole game. He could have had 2, but the first one, James missed him, which led to a Darius Leonard interception. And the other one, which was blown coverage by Desir, watching the quarterback, in which I don't know why. But Mike Evans got loose for 40 yards, and then he scored. And then he hurt his hamstring, which was out for the rest of the game. We did pretty good stopping the run. They only had 75 yards on that, which is pretty good. But Jameis Winston had 400 passing yards, almost 500. He had 456 passing yards. That is too many yards for Jameis Winston. Of course, he has our former coach, Bruce Arians, who led that miraculous season, which put us in the playoffs with the diagnosis of Chuck Pagano, the cure Chuck. So Arians came in as an intern coach and took us to the playoffs. So that was a marvelous season. I remember like it was yesterday. And he was the head coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So he's a quarterback whisperer. So I'm pretty sure he tried to keep Jameis humble. He sat him down. He put him back in the game. And Jameis pretty much clutched it out for Tampa Bay to beat us. They had this one receiver. It was Cameron Brate. Cameron Brate, he's a tight end. He was pretty much shredding us in the second half. He had 4 big receptions and a touchdown, which was clutch at the end of the game. Our secondary is pretty horrible. A lot of missed coverages, miscommunication, misreads. Just left the middle open. The middle was open a lot this game. They had a few sideline catches, but it was a lot of 3rd and 4th down. They went for it on 4th down, and that converted. It was just too many plays that was open. It was the receiver, even the running backs. The running backs couldn't get anything in the rushing game, so they played receiver, and they got a few yards in the second half, with the 4th quarter. We just couldn't stop the passing game. Like we forced interceptions, we forced sacks, but they still converted no matter what. They came back and they still converted. They shut us down on offense. We'll kick a field goal, and then they'll come back and then they'll throw the ball down the whole field. The whole drive will throw the football. So we couldn't stop the passing game today. It was pretty hard to watch. I mean, Marlon Mack returned today. That was pretty good. We were 16-6 with Marlon Mack on the field. We were 16-6, and we were 0-6 without him. So now we're 16-7 with Mack. We should have won that game. There's no excuses. I think if we ran the football a little bit more, and not inside zones, but like outside, with the Quentin Nelson being the late block, we would have had a better chance of winning this game. Another takeaway, Pascal, he had a great game. So shout out to Pascal. Marcus Johnson had a nice reception and a touchdown. So shout out to Marcus Johnson. Jack Doyle, security blanket, he was there. Jacoby Brissett, he's not the guy. He's not the quarterback for the Colts. The game he played today, he had a lot of misreads. He missed a lot of targets. He threw a lot of flat footballs today. No spirals. It was just hard to watch. It's just like he just forced his hand. Even when there was nothing open, he still would try to throw it into triple coverage instead of just throwing the ball out of bounds. And I don't know, this is not the Jacoby Brissett I've seen at the beginning of the season. So it was kind of rough to watch. It was like you can make something out of nothing, but you can just play it safe as well. And he was not trying to play it safe. He tried the young corners for Tampa Bay a lot today, and they were there. They were swatting the ball. There was some drop passes on our end, but they were there swatting the ball as well. So their defense definitely was there. They had some brutes on that D-line, so they tried to stop our run, but it wasn't enough. They stopped our run. We only had 66 rushing yards. They stopped it, because we tried to run up the middle, and this is the issue I have with our running game, or our running plays. If we can just, all we have to do is just run outside. We rarely run outside. If we rush on the outside of defenses, have a lead blocker in that great O line that we have, we will not have any issues. We've seen flashes from Hines, Wilkins, even Williams, Jonathan Williams, showing you that we can run outside. We don't have to rush up the middle, especially if you're looking at the game plan and you're seeing who you're matching up against. If they have an interior force, why are we forcing inside? Why are we forcing inside? It just doesn't make sense to me. And then when we're passing the football, we're passing it too much. It would have this plain offense when they pretty much can drop back and know who you're going to throw it to. And then when you do throw it, somebody's not catching it. We have a coach, a Super Bowl winning coach, who has a deep playbook. I'm going to say this a deep playbook, and when he can switch it up and force your defense's hand and try to figure out what you're going to do next. But he just does not go deep in this playbook, and he runs this stagnant offense, and it does not work. It just doesn't work. I don't understand. Jacoby Brissett tried. He got sacked only one time, but we tried to get open, and we just couldn't. Tampa Bay's offense and passing look way better than ours, because our secondary is just sleep. Almost every week they sleep. Our defensive line, they can rush the quarterback, Jameis to break it, and find something open. It's like they just sit around and wait for something to happen. Our linebackers, they did decent today. Our defensive line did decent today, but our secondaries and the Malik Hookers, the Kari Willis, he got caught slipping on one play. Well, a few plays. The Desir, and I know more and some other players are out on defense, I understand, but this always the next man up. Clayton Gaithers got caught sleeping a few times. I just don't understand. So, I mean, that's pretty much all I got for you guys. Our playoff run is pretty much over. I'm not surprised. The Titans won today. The Texans lost, which we needed. We could have definitely took over. We could have definitely moved up in the rankings. I mean, Pittsburgh still went out, so it didn't really matter. But playoffs is dead. Jacoby's not the guy. We gave Brian Hoyer money for no reason. So I don't know who we're going to go for. Our draft stock's looking better, but it's just a sad sight to watch. It's just a sad sight to watch, man. Hopefully things will get better next year. I mean, I'm still rooting for the Colts. I'm picking them to win every week because the games that we're playing are winnable. It's no excuses. It's no excuses. And I bet you bottom dollar when we play Carolina, they're going to find a way to win. They're going to find a way to win. Even though we can stop the run, but our pass coverage is just horrible. It's just horrible. We came out the game on fire. We was swatting everything, forcing fumbles, catching interceptions. We was just out there. It was like we were there. We were catching picks because Jameis was being Jameis, and we still couldn't find a way to stop them. So I don't know how we're going to win next week. I just don't. But hopefully we'll figure it out. That's all I got for you, Colts. Until next time. Peace.